Hard Road Ahead by Godzilla Wolf. Chapter 1, only Tricks. Chapter. Trixie needs inspiration. Trixie gave an annoyed sigh, slinking her door open with her telekinesis and trying into the middle of a hotel room. The cheapest one she could find, which meant it was small and only had the bare necessities, and a brick wall was staring right outside the window, blocking any potential view. Still, better than sleeping in a cardboard box, Trixie would know.
Well, at least it was only one tomato that time.
The Astro Unicorn muttered, removing said rotten tomato from her keep and depositing it in a trash can. The previous show had about 5 or 6. She tried over to her underfilled bag and flooded what few bits she had gotten from that fiasco into it.
Looks like 2-bit hotels is all Trixie will be staying at for some time.
Trixie questioned whether or not she should head back to the Pie Family Rock Farm to earn enough bits to replace the carts she ended up selling to be able to afford the Alicorn Amulet. But it was not her preferred line of work. There was the little matter of explaining why she needed another job, and soon the explanation of,
I used the money to purchase an ancient and evil amulet of dark and terrible power in a revenge scheme
would go over well. It had been a few weeks since that incident. At least Trixie seemed to have kept much of it for causing much trouble since the Ursa incident, which Trixie forgottedly appreciated. Speaking of which, her arm glowed as she floated a quill and scroll to herself from her suitcase where several more scrolls sat. Right after she had been defeated, she was at a crossroads. She considered simply trying to move on and forget about it, or keep only in direct contact with the group that saved her from the madness. But ultimately she chose to keep in contact with Twilight Sparkle, both because he had been the one to save her, and because of how she wronged her so. And admittedly, because being in good graces as Celestia's personal student has certain appeal now that which no longer desiring vengeance on her.
Dear Twilight, Trixie's doing adequate. See, just before the show in Baltimore, it was decidedly an improvement over the last one. However, Trixie must admit, she feels a certain lack of motivation since completely changing her entire M.O. Don't worry, she's simply in a minor creative slump, and possibly still trying to get her brain back in order after an evil artifact twisted in knots. She's certain it'll be back to normal soon. Regardless, how are you doing? Any major events happen? The humble and apologetic Trixie!
Trixie was immediately kind of hoping Twilight's bizarre life might give her a little boost of creativity. Maybe. She quickly wrapped a purple ribbon and a violet star around it to hold the scroll tight, then sent the scroll away to be received by Spike.
Trixie isn't bad at magic. It's obviously more of a matter of needing the right inspiration for a new show is all.
The Cellmare said in an uncertain tone.
In retrospect, making her act consists of tell the Ursa Major story, and to publicly humiliate the hookers may not have been Trixie's best idea.
Seemed an annoyance. She tapped her hoof, looking at the window impatiently.
Perhaps Trixie should stop by the library and get a book on dangerous creatures.
The issue was that the story of the Ursa Major had been her bread and butter. On that note, she allowed her thoughts to wander back to that story's genesis. After all, her stories had to originate from somewhere. Trixie, the small filly, sat in a hidden little tunnel. Nothing special, merely a little area of fairy foals seemed to have natural affinity for locating and making their own, especially foals who felt the need to hide from adults who tended to get a little too bit strict. Along with her was a white unicorn colt with a black mane and tail, glasses on his face. The colt imitated the cut out of a large bear made of star over another cut of a city. Both held his gray-colored telekinesis. "Oh no! It's an Ursa Major! Somebody help us!"
"Have no fear, Huffington,"
Trixie sighed. The floated mini cut out herself up.
"The great and powerful Trixie shall save you all."
The two proceeded to perform full-like action of representing a fight by slamming the two fires into one another, making boom noises and other sound effects, all the while mind's eye imagining a giant battle between an Ursa Major and a brave and very attractive unicorn worthy of a big-budget production. Trixie found a small smile go across her face. A heartwarming tale had a memorable song about how little things in the past can lead to big things in the future. She had heartwarming spirits visit her several times. When she was a young mare, growing up in Huffington, moments like that were few and far between, which makes each one valuable, even for reasons. She lost track of what they meant for her. Fortunately, her smile soon faded as what happened to that story turned to her memory.
Ugh, why couldn't Trixie's Keystone story not have been the one she became a laughingstock for?
Before she could go further on that note, a wisp of green flame came through the window and materialized into a scroll that fell in front of her, wrapped with a blue ribbon with her cutie mark on it.
Punctual as always, Twilight Sparkle.
Dear Trixie, I'm glad to hear things are improving. I've done my best to ensure Ponyville is aware of the fact the amulet was corrupting you, and that you wasn't your true self. Hopefully, if word does spread, no pony will be hard for you on it. We haven't had any big world-threatening things happen, but Rainbow Dash did go to Wonderful's Academy. On the subject of your problem, Trixie blinked, noticed several paragraphs of text that had been written and marked out. Sorry, got a little carried away. Basic point, we all have things that inspire us. Sometimes it's a place, other times it's a thing. Sometimes it's a pony who means something important to us, or just inspires us with their presence. I suggest returning to something like that inspired you in the past, and see if it does it again. Your friend, Twilight Sparkle. Trixie put a hoof to her chin and gave it thought.
Things that inspire Trixie. Well, of course there's Trixie, but Trixie inspires every pony. Huffington was good, but she might run into her father. She was always fond of Las Vegas, but that place isn't good for her mind conscious. Come on, think Trixie, you're a storyteller. Surely you could think of one thing to inspire a story.
She read it over again, and stopped at one specific line.
Sometimes it's a pony who means something important to us. Well, maybe there is some pony. Trixie is starting over after all.
Tracking down one pony if one has not seen in years is a difficult task. Even more difficult is tracking down that some pony when they moved years ago, and the only relative you know of the pony in question has even more tedious one with them. Trixie eventually resorted to something Trixie only because the prospect of finding this particular pony grew more and more promising the longer she thought about it.
Dear Twilight Sparkle, Trixie hates asking for help, very much so, but keep your success in mind. Trixie desires to find some place you had not seen in a great many years. A unicorn from Huffington named Hired Hoof. At least that was the name she knew him as. Trixie believes finding him may not be what exactly the doctor ordered. He is also a friend Trixie has not seen in a very long time. Your friend, the humble and apologetic Trixie!
As it turned out, Hired Hoof's new residence was Manehattan. Trixie was also grateful to discover a certain mayor named Checker Monarch, who was previously Manehattan's top business mayor, had dirty dealings to come to light. She wasn't certain of specifics, presently serving life in prison. As even president of the city, then Trixie wouldn't be within 100 hooves.
Oh, no, Checker!
As the Azure Unicorn trotted through the streets, she looked at a piece of paper with directions to tell her telekinesis. Twilight, being Twilight, they were quite precise, perhaps a little too precise.
Did Twilight really have to put it down to hoof steps?
Trixie muttered, taking the last 3 steps and coming up on a fairly average apartment building. She did know a large, red brick theater sat across the street from it, bringing a smile to her face.
Well, it seems some things never change.
And after that, I learned how to properly pull up the curtain. It can be harder than it seems, Hired Hoof explained, back in their little secret hideout, having returned from a local theater club meeting. Spy language and manner of speaking had a mature air to them, but decidedly seemed to lack confidence. Trixie seemed to ratchet by what he had said.
Sounds wonderful. My grandmother speaks of the theater all the time. She's kind of a big deal in those,
she said, throwing out a bit of pride. Must be nice, Hired Hoof replied, looking down, having a family to support such things. Trixie rolled her eyes.
Your father again?
Young Colt nodded. He doesn't know, but he doesn't approve of such things. He wants a business stallion, not a two-bit actor, as he puts it.
At least he actually lets you have things in your room without you having to earn them.
But only things he approves of. Trixie gave an understanding smile to one another and chuckled a little. Trixie then jumped onto their little pile of supplies, emerging with a cardboard wings and paper crown.
Well, now Trixie is a princess, and she supports you. Trixie is also a princess, so her word must mean something, right?
The little Astrophiliacs, assuming a regal pose. You're right, it doesn't, Majesty, he said with a strange bow and smile.
No need to bow.
Trixie folded the second paper crown from the pile, placed it on his head.
You're a prince too. Now, how do we rule our kingdom?
Okay, this is too sweet. I'm out. Driving into the building, Trixie headed to the room where Hirehoof was living. It wasn't a big fancy place, but it was moderately well furnished. It was made out of the same red brick as most of the structures in the area. Shelmare finally arrived at his door, and paused. This had seemed like a much better idea before she actually got here. Now she questioned how exactly she was supposed to do this. Trixie was not used to thinking deeply and emotionally on anything. She hadn't seen Hirehoof in decades. Would he even remember her? Would he be angry with her? Had he changed too much? Namir considered leaving, forgetting this idea ever crossed her mind, but...
Trixie, afraid to show her face to somebody? She questioned. As if, besides, Trixie's come all this way. A bit of waste of resources, she sadly needs otherwise.
Trixie also did decidedly not wish to tell Twilight she simply chickened out after getting her aid in looking Hirehoof. Certainly, she couldn't lie, but she still felt buying humiliation, and she done that only to back out at the last moment.
Like Trixie would back down at the last second. She's many things, but a quitter isn't one.
Finally, the mayor reached up and knocked on the door, then put on a mask to hide her emotions effectively. She heard Hoof's steps cautiously approach the door, then undo the latch. "Hello?" asked a refined but timid voice, as the door opened to reveal a bespectacled white unicorn stallion, black hair done in a high-class style. Trixie, despite her prepping, was stunned for a moment at seeing this pony for the first time in decades. Back when they had been foals, it certainly wasn't that Trixie was far worse in interpersonal reactions than she thought herself to be a few moments ago. That wasn't the case. Why would it be? She was fantastic with ponies.
Oh, hello, Hirehoof. It's me, Trixie,
Trixie said, looking considerably awkward, much to her own annoyance.
Why am I suddenly tripping over myself?
Hirehoof, however, suddenly gasped, looked her over like he had seen a ghost. Trixie?
Trixie nodded. Yes, Trixie Monarch. We were friends as foals, remember?
Remember, Trixie, I... The two of them stood there awkwardly for a few moments, both looking for words, while Trixie could see this coming from Hirehoof. She cursed herself for suddenly being tongue-tied.
Trixie. She suddenly experienced something that made her realize that perhaps she should start fresh. And, well, she knows it's been years. If you have no interest in such things anymore, then that's fine. She doesn't know why anybody would want to get to know Trixie. But given everything, she understands.
Hirehoof smiled, looking like he hadn't words. Trixie, I missed you.
You did? I mean, of course you did. I'm Trixie! How could anybody forgive her?
You haven't changed, Trixie. Trixie didn't know why, but for some reason that hurt a little bit. Hirehoof seemed to notice the fact and looked down. So, sorry, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I mean, you're still the Trixie I remember. Please, come on in. Trixie sat in the small kitchen of Hirehoof's apartment. As he guessed, it was a fairly nice one. Not 5 stars, but probably a solid 3. Enough for her to feel a twinge of jealousy given her normal accommodations the past few weeks. It was a decent size with all necessities, and she could tell Hirehoof had did some customizing. Nearly the posters for play set up on the walls in decorative spots. On that note, she also noticed several play scripts on the table in front of her. Sorry that the room is a mess, said Hirehoof, clearing out the table before she could get a closer look. Was not expecting company today.
It's fine. Trixie has seen worse, Trixie replied, including the last place she was in.
Another awkward silence occurred. Both seemed to have some difficulty in starting the conversation.
So, Hirehoof.
It's Statehoof now, actually. The Azure Unicorn blinked.
Statehoof?
Yes. You see, the white unicorn nodded and turned to show his flank. Revealing his cutie mark was a set of red theater curtains. I changed my name when I got my cutie mark. Trixie stared at Shark.
Theater? Trixie knew you left it, but she never thought you'd be one to get on stage.
Statehoof blushed. Well, I'm not. I mean, I would love to, but I don't have the confidence for it. Do you see a theater across the street?
Trixie nodded. Yes, I did. It was a nice-looking one.
That's where I work. I'm on as a permanent Statehoof. The Azure Mare thought for a moment, then gave a laugh, though one with a tiny bit of jealousy.
Trixie suppose it's safe to say that you proved your father wrong, is it not?
Statehoof's eyes widened. Then he blushed and gave a small smile. I suppose that's true. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Trixie hasn't seen hers in a long time either. Remember how we used to borrow Trixie's grandmother's scripts and play them out in our hideout?
Cecil chuckled. Yeah, you were always wonderful, but I was.
You are fine. Hi, stay tough, Trixie replied, giving a smile. Maybe not as good as Trixie, but Trixie has met actual actors with less skill than you had back then. Take it from her.
Truth be told, this was not a lie. Staceself was good at memorizing lines and noting properly in their delivery. The problem was a simple matter that a two-fold show for their enjoyment didn't require as much confidence as a stage performance.
Remember when we did Romero and Chili Bit?
Trixie questioned. Oh yes, you were wonderful. Even when we needed to do the fight scenes against one another.
Well, we were a two-pony show. I think we did quite well, Trixie said, even if we had to use sticks for swords, and we didn't even know how the proper illusion spells to make up for it.
The stallion chuckled. I recall. I also recall how we had to use little paper masks cut out for the masquerade scene.
Oh, yes, they were perfect after all. Trixie cut them out,
replied the Azure Unicorn, a proud hoof to her chest.
Two Ritz ponies, and between us, we were stuck using improv props.
Sadly, it was rather annoying with the dagger scene.
Indeed, a paper dagger, so Trixie didn't harm herself, spoiled the mood a bit, especially considering giving the kiss directly before that was perfectly done.
The two stopped to recollection, a warm blush covering their faces.
What Trixie means that the kiss was well acted.
Yes, it was. You put a lot of effort into it. Like you do everything, Stacev replied, followed by another awkward pause. Speaking of which, how are things going for you, Trixie? I heard you got into stage magic. Trixie's blue was replaced with her eyes shifting left and right.
Oh, well, Trixie's doing fine. She's become a very successful stage musician until an accident cost her cart.
Stallion's eyes widened. Accident? Are you all right?
An Ursa Minor was involved. It was partially Trixie's fault, but mostly the fault of two dumb cults. And then Trixie may have made some mistakes of her own in anger. Trixie's doing better now. She's earning the money to purchase a new cart with her shows.
Stacev gave a sigh of relief. That's good. How close are you?
Not as close as Trixie would like to be, but she's getting there,
Trixie announced, prayer clouding her tone. For most, Trixie's impeccable lying would have been enough. Of course, this was the only pony actually genuinely who knew her closely. Stacev frowned. I see, he replied. They looked at a nearby window, eyes falling at the theater. May I make a suggestion? He asked after a moment working up his nerve. Before losing everything, she added twice over. The idea of sending help would have been the last thing Trixie would ever consider. But this was after that, and seeing the price of her pride had left her a bit more open.
Trixie is willing to hear it.
Theater's always in need of actors, and narrators for plays. If not, we certainly could use some pony with talents in stage magic for effects. Perhaps you could maybe try out for a job there until you earn enough money to buy enough cart? Trixie put her up to her chin.
Trixie does adore theater. She is fantastic when it comes to stage magic and illusions, and her storytelling talents would be well spent as a narrator. But Trixie would need to find an affordable place to stay, and given this is Manehattan, that would be quite a task.
Once more, her old friend looked thoughtful. I got a fold-out bed for a couch. Trixie's eyes widened, finding her cheeks growing somewhat warm.
Trixie! Trixie appreciates the offer, but Trixie doesn't like pity.
Well, I wouldn't call it pity. Not if you paid half the rent. Zaitsev questioned in a nervous tone. Trixie, I haven't seen you in years. We used to be such good friends. Until my father decided you were being a distraction to me. Trixie was taken aback by the tone of Zaitsev, referred to that moment with. Granted, she wasn't very happy about it either, but the sudden anger of Friend's voice remembered how unfair his father Iron Hoof could be. I'd at least like to make up for lost time, if that's all right. This way you can work on doing something you enjoy to replace your funds and buy a new cart. I mean, that's all right. I don't decide to force you to do anything. Trixie thought about this. Pain was something even now she could never in her life stand. It was one of the reasons she so quickly departed Ponyville, and not let Twilight Sparkle become aware she spent all her funds on the Alicorn Amulet. She knew the mayor would try to aid her out of pity, but she wouldn't have it. On the other hoof, Stasis was the only friend she had as a child. She'd come all this way to reconnect with him. And he had a point. She certainly wasn't opposed to theater paying her half of the rent, and it wasn't quite pity. was already there continuing what she had been doing, or in a cardboard box. That certainly wasn't an appealing option by any stretch. Would it really be that bad?
Alright, Sea Tough. Trixie is willing to give it a try.
Alright, Miss Monarch, as the mayor stood before them. She's slightly older than the two of them, with a purple coat and yellow mane and pink eyes. Her cutie mark was a pair of ballet shoes. Are you perhaps related to a checker monarch? She questioned, with a decree of caution.
Trixie growled. Unfortunately, yes. She is Trixie's elder sister. But believe Trixie, she's as happy as anyone that she's behind bars.
She's telling the truth, Miss Meadowlark. Checker Monarch treated Trixie horribly when we were younger. Self explained, seeming to have just worked up the confidence to do so, just like she did me. Miss Meadowlark looked at Self in surprise.
Checker is the reason Trixie left home. She couldn't stand being near her any longer,
Trixie replied, giving a growl. Well, technically not the only reason. Her father was certainly one reason. And there had been 3 bullies named Whistleblower, Billy Club, and Cuffer, who constantly bullied them at school. She didn't like her hometown very much.
She tried to convince Trixie her wonderful talent for show magic was a worthless waste. Clearly, Trixie didn't listen.
Meadowlark showed a moment of anger. Well, I was already no fan of hers, but as a big sister myself, I can't stand the idea of a sibling doing that.
Big sister?
Trixie asked, giving a curious look. Meadowlark nodded, turning a picture on the desk to reveal a picture of her and another, younger purple earth pony with a pink mane and a 4-leaf clover cutie mark. I have a younger sister. I can't imagine ever treating her that way.
Then you're better than Checker, Trixie remarked. Trixie feels like her sister hated Trixie simply for existing.
Meadowlark gave a look of consideration. It also says here you were involved in an incident in Ponyville. Trixie grins, unable to conceal a look towards Statehoof.
Yes, Trixie was. She made mistakes and completely admits it. Though in her defense, she had no intention of actually causing harm to the town, merely showing a pony she believed wronged her. The Alicorn Amulet corrupted those of motivations into something terrible. Trixie has made amends with Twilight Sparkle and the rest of the town. She has letters proving they have no ill will towards Trixie and is pardoned her.
The showmare waited, fully anticipating Statehoof to react in horror some other way. I trust Trixie, Miss Meadowlark. I do not believe she would lie about this.
You do?
Trixie asked, starting in shock. Statehoof merely nodded. You know her far better than me, Statehoof, Meadowlark replied, giving an understanding smile. And if it's something you're willing to speak up about, it must be important. Trixie, bring me those letters for Miss Sparkle to look over, and if they're legitimate, I think I'd be willing to give you a chance. The 2 unicorns trotted back towards Staso's room, and retrieving the Stillmare's belongings from the hotel room she intended to stay at, along with the letters Meadowlark had asked for her. Trixie looked confused.
Statehoof?
Yes, Trixie? The Stillmare looked up at her friend.
How long did you know that Trixie was being honest?
Statehoof gave a small smile. You never apologize unless you really mean it. Trixie stared at him a moment, then laughed.
Trixie suppose this is true. Thank you for believing in me, Statehoof.
The stallion plus returned. You're welcome, Trixie.
Ugh! All that's left are narrator roles,
Trixie questioned in annoyance, looking over at the various scripts back at Stasos's apartment. It was the next morning, and the scripts had been brought over by one of Stasos, and now Trixie's co-workers, a pink Pegasus named Curtain Call, who almost rivaled Trixie in hamminess. Almost. And Miss Meadowlark's request. Trixie admitted, seeing slept better than she had, some inclined. She wasn't sure she owed Statehoof having completely comfortable couch, or the hotel she's been staying at surprisingly uncomfortable beds.
And no lead roles.
I'm sorry, Trixie, but it is late in the casting for the majority of our current plays. Statehoof replied timidly, looking over the list of duties for the plays and questions job called for. But is that truly so bad?
Trixie cocked her head. Well, Trixie would just be sitting to the side, reading what's happening. Trixie isn't quite fond of that idea.
I see. Well, you're not really saying so. I mean, you always narrate our plays as falls, and I always believed you did a wonderful job. Your voice is quite captivating. The White Unicorn replied, his tone remaining timid. Then blushed as he said dawned on him. Trixie strangely found herself blushing a small bit as well. I mean, you are a captivating storyteller, so the role of narrator is perfect for you, and the narrator is a surprisingly important part of the play.
How exactly is that?
Because the narrator is the one who keeps the story going, and without them, the audience wouldn't have any idea what's going on, where we are, what is happening. Honestly, in some ways, it's more important than the actual lead role, because the lead role needs a narrator to give context, in my opinion at least. I mean, I might not share yours, and that's perfectly fine. Trixie blinked.
Trixie! Hadn't thought about it that way. Trixie supposed maybe being a narrator isn't quite so bad in that case.
There's a lot more to theater than most think, Caesar replied. Something I wish father would appreciate.
Trixie remembers grandmother describing it having a magic of all her own, Trixie replied, chuckling.
Oh, yes, I remember. Do you remember the songs you taught us?
Trixie smiled. Oh, yes, Trixie does.
Do you want to? I mean, you don't have to, but Trixie gave it a thought. Began tapping out a sound. Caesar stared for a moment. Then, fell right along with her.
Making them believe in the web you weave.
Trixie began with her typical theatrics. She looked at Caesar expectantly. The timid stallion took a moment to work himself and clear his throat. That's the magic of theater.
A queen and her lord
With his cardboard sword.
That's the magic of theater.
Back in their little hideout, Trixie, her paper crown on her head, stood with her young prince, Hoof, who was chopping a dragon with a cardboard cutout sword.
A fake moon in the right night makes you believe the night has come.
Trixie stood in the narrator's position, assigning a set of a horror story telling of a dark, stormy night. In her normal dramatic fashion, a golden Pegasus with a feather cueing mark, an actor named Quill, played the part of a lost youth wandering through the woods. A fake moon lit up well enough to make it look real in the mind's eye.
A sudden flash, a noisy crash, and you hear the thunder shout drum.
Quill jumped as the sunlight flashed and crowd crashed, running off the stage when Trixie and Statehoof was handling lights down stage. With a white smile and a approving nod once out of their eyes of sight. Trixie blinked, looking confused at the genuine praise.
Oh, what's the next stop? A climbing a mountain top?
Trixie used her weather magic to generate a wind spell, continuing to narrate. Smiling to Statehoof, who dropped the fake snow onto her spell. On stage, a white unicorn with a blood mane, an actor named Winter's Howl, climbed a mountain set and planted the equestrian flag at its summit.
That's the magic of theater.
A flowing dress can start as a mess. A golden fur earthpine named Golden Fields looked in the mirror at her dress and shook her head. Statehoof gave a nod and rubbed his head. Trixie was about to ignore it, but then noticed Statehoof's expression and gave it a thought. Finally, she produced a piece of blue fabric she always kept on hoof for a quick patch job on the road, as any traveling pony had demanded of, and suggested to the mare as a sass. Tried it and found it fit perfectly. Trixie gave a bow, and Statehoof smiled as Golden Fields looked over himself in further approval.
That's the magic of theater,
creating an illusion
that takes the breath away.
At rehearsal, Statehoof raised a hoof to suggest something, but stopped short. A timid look on his face. Trixie nudged him and gave him a encouraging look. After gaining the attention of the troupe, the two crossed horns and combined magic, forming a blanket of black clouds around the room, also using lightning sound spells to emulate lightning without the risk of setting fire to something they came with. More things happening at once than either of them could manage with a single spell. The rest of the room applauded. Both caught themselves looking at each other and blessed, separating and donning a bow.
That's the magic of theater and the fun of putting on a play.
The two repeated their continuous spell at the same play when Quill did it began, earning a gasp from the audience. The two shared an approving, happy smile.
That's the magic of theater.
Trixie narrated an image of fog rolling in. As Stacehoff used his magic to create a wall of fog blowing in, Trixie identified a few illusions of still shadows moving in it. Found her and Stacehoff looking at each other, both with a smile.
That's the magic of theater.
Trixie produced the illusion of a dragon, while Stacehoff produced the illusion of it roaring as Winter Howl fought the illusion before the crowd with a sword. Karen called dressed as a princess in the tower behind the beast. Trixie used the fireworks spell to give the illusion of his flame vest striking next to him. Trixie found her hoof wrapping around Stacehoff, found itself return it. Both blushed and separated the moment that they realized it.
To help make the illusion, we paint.
Stacehoff stood on the scaffolding, setting down a paint can to begin painting it, when he realized he was missing the paintbrush. His point floated up to him, Trixie giving him a playful look from the ground, causing him to laugh. We build! The entire theater troupe, Trixie included, pulled up a giant backdrop of a castle to place on the stage. Trixie lost her footing, but Stacehoff caught her before she could fall. Which, given the situation, could have ended nasty. We sew! The Trixie stitched the last thread of the gown costume, a skill one constantly needed on the road. They didn't want to be nude. I'm too busy enjoying this to make the comment. She gave a yelp as she pricked her own hoof. Caused Stacehoff to run over and check on her. Then blushed when he realized it was nothing.
That's the magic of theater and the fun of putting on a show.
The troupe, including Stacehoff's narrator and Trixie, bowed before the crowd with thunderous applause.
That's the magic of theater. So, you're gonna be climbing Crystal Mountains during your vacation?
Trixie questioned, taking a drink of tea to soothe her throat after a play, setting down a letter for Twilight she had been reading. Winter Howl nodded, packing up some of his supplies. Yeah, the Ags are offering some guides to the mountains now that we're allies.
Going to break any records?
Asked the showmare, smirking. Nah, I'm just gonna go old-fashioned ice climbing, the white unicorn replied, looking intense for a moment.
Well, Trixie wishes you luck,
she replied, smiling. She originally thought Winter Howl was just a good actor when it came to adventure stories. It has actually been the thing that bonded them. Trixie was a storyteller who was proud of being physically strong for a unicorn. She did have to pull a heavy cart all over Equestria, and Winter Howl was physically strong, athletic unicorn. It was proud of his talents as an actor. Thanks. See you when I get back, Trix, Winter Howl replied, heading out. Trixie waved as he departed. They turned to see another familiar face.
Hello, Stacehoff. Fantastic effects tonight.
Stacehoff blushed, looking down, swinging his front hoof a little bit. Thank you, he said. Trixie could tell he was nervous. Well, more than a terror stallion normally would be. Oh, and Miss Meadowlark thought so too. She's actually rather impressed with how well I've improved since you got here.
Well, Trixie wouldn't know. She's only seen you after you got here. And you've done marvelously,
Trixie replied, giving a reassuring smile. Thank you. But I really have gotten better since you were here. I try to think you harder with you around. Thank you for that. Trixie felt his face get a little warm.
You're quite welcome, Stacehoff.
Mrs. Meadowlark wanted to give me a promotion, the stallion replied, face going rare. She wants to promote me to head Stacehoff. The last one just retired.
Trixie smiled wildly. That's fantastic news, Stacehoff. Glad to hear it.
Thanks, but I'm not sure if I want to take it. The answer unicorn let down, like he had said the world was flat.
Why ever not? You don't want the job?
Stacehoff shook his head. No, I do want it. I really do. Don't know if Father was wrong about me. And I really do want this to be my life, but I'm not sure if I'm right for it, and well... Trixie looked at her thoughtful for a moment.
Do you know how the stage works, and what needs to be done to keep this place running?
Well, yes. I've done most of it enough to know it by heart.
And do you know every pony on the state's crew?
Yes, by the name.
Trixie smirked. You sound like a perfect fit to Trixie. And Trixie is the granddaughter of Helena Midsummer, and she should know a thing or two about the subject.
But I don't know if I could get somebody to listen. Stacehoff stuttered, shaking a little bit. Trixie rolled her eyes at the nervous stallion.
Stacehoff, Every pony likes you, including Trixie, and that should matter a great deal, because she's Trixie. Besides, you certainly do a good job of it when it came to convincing Trixie to do things she wasn't willing to do at first.
Alicorn caught his head. I have?
Trixie nodded. Trixie wouldn't even taken this job if it wasn't for you. It showed her how important and valuable she'd be if she chose to be a narrator, which Trixie appreciates. She enjoys being important and valuable.
The showmare said proudly.
And you make Trixie want to be better. Trixie knows that is odd, but it's something about you that makes Trixie wish she was nicer. Maybe it's because you're so kind to her. Maybe because you always think the best of her.
Trixie blinked, finding herself blushing a bit.
Anyway, Trixie thinks you would be good for the job. You don't know unless you try. And if it doesn't work out, she'll probably let you take your old job back. She seems too nice not to.
Staso just stared. You really think so?
Trixie nodded. Does Trixie ever say anything Stacy doesn't mean?
No, you don't.
Thank you, Trixie. You're quite welcome.
It was several weeks before Trixie finally got a bed of her own. Staso insisted she get one. He fit Bella about sleeping on his couch. He offered to use his raise for his promotion to buy it, but Trixie was Trixie, so naturally she refused to accept that. And, she wouldn't admit it, but taking advantage of her best friend wasn't something she was comfortable with. She naturally considered getting her own apartment, but she felt certain coldness when she thought of leaving. Was it losing a warmth she had felt since she come to live with him? Stacy had gone downstairs to the lobby to pick up their mail and the newspaper, a thing they traded back and forth on doing. So Trixie simply sat at the kitchen table drinking coffee. There was a letter lying on the floor next to the window, which she picked up with her telekinesis.
Early letter. Twilight. Must be important, Trixie replied with a chuckle. Trixie wonders if she and her friends managed to redeem another evil overlord.
The mayor opened the letter and took a sip of her coffee. Trixie! Stanisov yelled, swinging the door open and rushing in, newspaper and telekinesis. You won't believe what's happened! There's a new princess! At which point, Trixie spat her coffee into a nearby wall. Psst! One clear second later, and the two sat on the table, looking down at the image of the newly crowned Princess Twilight Sparkle of Equestria at a coronation in Camelot.
Twilight Sparkle became a princess! Trixie yelled in shock, and she didn't bother to tell Trixie!
Trixie? Stay so fast, looking at Twilight's lair.
Trixie is her friend. She should have been the first to know about this!
Trixie!
Trixie might not be a world-leading national heroine, but she's still Trixie, and that means a lot, especially to Trixie!
Stanisov used his magic to set off a loud ringing sound, forcing Trixie's hooves over her ears. Sorry, but she did, Stanisov said meekly, laying the letter over to her.
Dear Trixie, a great change has recently happened in my life. The specifics are complicated, and even I don't know nearly all of them. Long story short, managed to complete an unfinished spell sort of period, one that had unforeseen effects, but when I finished, long story short, I've become an Alicorn tomorrow morning. I'm going to officially be dubbed a princess. Hope this doesn't affect our friendship, but I still consider you my friend. I'm just an Alicorn now, that's all. Your friend, Twilight Sparkle. Oh. That was all Trixie could say. Trixie is proud. Yes, that, Trixie said, eyes shifting. Trixie is now friends with an Alicorn. That's a benefit for her. What with her wings, her power, prestige, having ponies bow to her. All things Trixie is completely proud of Twilight for having.
Stanisov blinked, watching her, particularly the fact that she was grinding her teeth and looking at the picture of Twilight's rings, like they were giant diamonds and she was a dragon. Trixie, are you... you don't mind my asking, are you jealous?
Jealous? Why would Trixie be jealous?
The Astronomer asked, eye twitching.
Trixie is proud. Why should she be jealous of Twilight having every little thing's dream come true? Or amassing herself with those wings? Or Earth Pony's super strength? Trixie. Or why Trixie went to Celestia School for getting unicorns, just like her, but isn't an Alicorn? Trixie, you don't. Or wishing the world would stop playing such cruel ironies on her. Or asking why it couldn't be anybody but Twilight Sparkle.
You'll always be a princess to me! The room was silent. Trixie merely stared on in shock, finding her face glowing with a vibrant blush. Stay-Tuff panted, his face likewise bright red.
Stay-Tuff, what do you mean?
Trixie asked, staring at Stay-Tuff. Stay-Tuff had yelled. That left Trixie with no choice but to take him seriously. Well, I mean, Stay-Tuff took a deep breath. They got up, tried it over to his closet, and began digging through it, throwing out his items. Finally emerged with an old cardboard box. I didn't show you this before now because I was worried you'd think it was childish or creepy. Trixie blinked, and Stay-Tuff pulled out old cutouts of an Ursa Major, Minor, Trixie, and several other things.
These are
What I could hide from my father when we were separated and lost our hideout, Stay-Tuff explained. Do you want to know what made me finally move away from him?
No.
I saw a newspaper article on one of your shows, and remember when you told me you supported me. Stay-Tuff's fur was doing nothing to hide his blood as he pulled out a pair of tiny old cardboard wings and a paper crown. Trixie gasped, staring. Trixie had jumped on a pile of supplies, emerging with cardboard wings and a paper crown.
Well, now Trixie is a princess, and she supports you. Trixie is also a princess, and so her word must mean something, right?
The little Azurphili asked, assuming a regal pose. The image in my head is adorable.
You remember that?
Stay-Tuff nodded. Trixie, you and Father were all I had. Between the two of you, I rather remember everything with you. You are nice to me. You care about me. I wouldn't be where I am now without you. The stallion's legs were shaking. It's all right to be jealous of Twilight, but I never forgotten you being a princess for me that time. Trixie, my princess, and I hope that helps a bit. Trixie felt her chest become warm.
I am?
Stay-Tuff nodded, trying to remain composed, but his natural timid nature making that difficult. You said I'd make you want to be nicer. You make me want to be better. I think we kind of complete each other, if you think so.
When you say it that way, it almost sounds like we're a couple,
Trixie replied. Then the two stared at each other, both blushing as that sunk in. Both realized that they had the same warm feeling around each other. Make out! Make out! Make out! That they had felt each other feel more than they did when they were apart. After so many years of being apart, they hadn't forgotten who each other was to them at all. Well, I guess it kind of does, the Scion replied, nervously swinging his leg. I mean, we live together, and we like the same things. We care about each other.
We bring out the best in each other.
Trixie found herself continuing.
You'll stand up for Trixie, and Trixie is kind for you.
I guess we put it like that. We do sound like a couple, Stay-Tuff replied, trembling. Both were now blushing. Is that a bad thing? Trixie was not an emotional person, so she knew when she was experiencing an emotion she wasn't used to feeling.
Trixie, well, let's see hypothetically we were. Trixie wouldn't find it too bad. She does like how she feels around you and likes you.
Stay-Tuff looked like he was working up as much courage as he could, and hypothetically, I wouldn't find it objectionable. I like how I feel around you, and I like you. He stood there, staring at each other awkwardly. At this point, they both knew what they wanted to say next. It's the exact same thing, except Trixie,
what Trixie means is...
One was the timid stallion who lacked confidence in himself, and the other was a mare who was not used to expressing such emotions. Do you maybe want to try it? Stay-Tuff stuttered, looking like he was going to faint. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked. Trixie, being Trixie, decided to tire us with it, and go for the most dramatic way of accepting his proposals he was capable of, namely, shutting him up with a kiss. She admitted this was an impulsive move, and she wasn't quite sure she wouldn't regret, but Trixie was an impulsive pony. Stay-Tuff seemed stunned for a few moments, then returned to kiss.
Dear Twilight Sparkle, Trixie is happy for you. Being a princess is a huge accolade. Trixie envies you. In a good way, yes. She's proud of you, and you deserve it. Also, Trixie has some good news of her own as well. She and her friend Stacey are now more than friends. Yes, Trixie has a cult friend. Do you have a cult friend? Trixie does. Your friend, the great and powerful Trixie. Several months later, Trixie and Stacey walked through the Manehattan Central Park, spending their day off simply having a date. They've been doing quite a bit on their downtime since they hooked up, including one double date with Quill in Golden Fields. Turned out the two had gotten sweet on each other, too. The co-workers reacted to learning about both couples. About time. They unfortunately also discovered that Cuthbert, Billy Club, and Whistleblower had become cops in the city. But in a few issues, they had yet to become a problem. Trixie also received a letter from Twilight, making her more faith in herself. Apparently, Twilight had met a man named Sunset Shimmer. It was still her pride to Trixie, only, shockingly, worse, and redeemed her. Trixie had fewer reasons to doubt her new choices after that. Trixie, thank you for giving me a chance, Cecil said, giving a blush. Trixie chuckled, stopping to bite them both carrot dogs, flinging one over at him with a muzzle. You're welcome. Give yourself some credit. You're a fantastic cult friend. I try, Cecil stuttered, giving a timid smile and returning her nuzzle. You're doing very well as a head Cecil. Even grandmother even said so, Trixie replied, the answer Stone giving him a nudge and enjoying seeing him blush. One of their dates had been a visit to Philadelphia to meet with Trixie's grandmother, Helena Midsummer. Trixie was proud to say Helena had been proud of them both. Apparently by doing so, they missed Twilight Company having their own trip to the city involving Rarity and a fashion show. I owe you that one, Cecil replied, giving her a smile. You're the one that got me there. You're right, but Trixie only got you there, Trixie replied with a amount of pride. Capacity found herself showing much more often. The two continued to walk through the park, enjoying their moment. We trotted by a small filly next to the park's lake. She was a blue blank flank unicorn with a white mane, sitting next to a top hat. She was currently focusing on the hat with intensity, her horn glowing brightly, then fizzling out. She made a second attempt, got the same result, several times in fact. The filly faintly gave a sad look and lowered her head. Trixie blinked at the image before her, a strangely familiar sight. This was the unicorn managed to get into the school for gifted unicorns, with State's magic talent after all. State's hoof. Trixie will be back in a moment, Trixie explained. State's hoof didn't eject, and the unicorn carefully tried to the filly and looked down at her. Excuse me. The filly turned around to look at the older mare. Oh, hello. Hello. My name is Trixie. Also, Trixie will be the first to speak to the third person after this sentence. The filly pointed confusion. Oh, I'm Moonshadow. Good to meet you, Moonshadow. Trixie couldn't help but notice you are trying to perform a magic trick. Moonshadow looked down at the top hat sadly. Yeah, I'm trying to practice it for a talent show, but I can't get it to work. Trixie actually gave a chuckle. That's ironic. Trixie actually earned her cutie mark doing such a thing. The filly's ears perked up. Really? Trixie put her hope to her chest. Trixie won first place. You are a luck. She is an expert at such things. Perhaps she could be an assistant. As Trixie spoke, Stacey watched from a distance, giving a small smile. Moonshadow focused on the hat. Remember, think of what you want to appear, already being where you want it. The audience expects you to appear in that hat, so you must expect it to appear in that hat. Trixie advised, and probably got a more dramatic voice than the situation called for. Finally, the filly looked at a bouquet of flowers in the hat in her telekinesis. She gave a loud gasp. I did it! Trixie gave a proud smile. Ooh, was there any ever doubt? You did have a professional instruct you after all. The Azure Unicorn gave a gasp. It's a filly, Hector. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Moonshadow exclaimed excitedly. You're quite welcome, Trixie replied, giving an awkward smile. Good luck with your talent show. As the small filly ran off, Trixie returned to State's Huff. She noticed her cold friend smiling. Oh, what? Oh, State's Huff jumped up a bit. Well, it's just nice seeing you helping somebody like that. Trixie smiled and nuzzled him. Thank you. Trixie is proud of herself. The filly kind of reminded her of herself, actually. State's nodded. I seem to recall several times you were in that exact situation. The showmare nodded, then looked nostalgic. Reminded Trixie of back when she was doing her shows, standing before the audience with all eyes on her, doing feats of defying the mind.
Cecil smiled, phased by his Philly friend doing typical over-the-top theatrics. You miss it, don't you?
Yes, she loves theater, but doing some shows again would be nice. Though Trixie admits.
Stanley looked concerned, knowing Trixie showing unusual hesitance. What's wrong, Trixie? Does it sound like you? As her unicorn gave a sigh.
Trixie ended up coming here in the first place, hoping to find new inspiration, because he spent the last few decades putting ponies down to raise herself up. Now it makes her feel hesitant to start again, even as he knows she's changed greatly.
Cecil nuzzled her this time. I understand, but if you want to, and need help, I wouldn't mind being an assistant.
Trixie blinked. You would?
The stallion nodded, giving a small smile. We've proven we were a great team, haven't we? He asked, looking a bit nervous. But your choice. I won't pressure you. Stone looked down for a moment. Smile returned to his nuzzle.
Thank you, stay tough. She'll keep that in mind. My prince.
You're welcome. My princess. Later that night, the two prepared for bed. Separate beds, mind you! They were cold friend and mare friend, but they were also not married yet. There! Happy, Mr. Pastor Censor? Yes, I am quite glad for that.
How do we get one of those in the studio? Trixie doesn't know. She's right now asking Bill why he let her... Oh, wait a minute, of course. Trixie will see him out the door.
Trixie blinked, taking a look outside the window.
Sun and fog. Trixie doesn't remember that I'm forecasting fog.
It was surprisingly thick as well, to the point even street lamps didn't allow her to see much. Perhaps the sun changed?
Not impossible.
Trixie replied to try it over.
Good night, Sea Tough.
Maybe it's that weird fog thing that Fluttershy has to stop. Because apparently he only knew how to stop that evil fog that was rolling in. If you got that reference to that fic, congratulations.
Not impossible,
Trixie replied. To try it over.
Good night, Sea Tough.
Good night, Trixie. The two shared a loving kiss, then lay down in bed.
It's her. She's going to start doing her shows again. Selling new material. Wonder if Miss Meadowlark knows any mythical creatures.
Trixie whispered before drifting off to sleep. Central Park was quiet. This late at night, no one was in the park. From the fog emerged a black lizard-like beast, its beady eyes darting around. Strange glowing marks on each of his legs, barely illuminating the fog. The creature tossed the empty street in Fantasy Alley. The end. Look, I know what I promised, what I said I was going to do yesterday, but somebody in the comments reminded me of what I said I was going to do after this. So I decided to move on and decided to do this particular story. And once again, Godzilla Wolf, good, awesome. Let's move on to the Spider-Man story now. Because, quite frankly, we all knew what we were getting with the whole entire freaking Trixie story. It's Godzilla Wolf writing Trixie. This person is responsible for why I love Trixie in the first place. They helped to write Getting Back on Your Hooves. Getting Back on Your Hooves, as we know, is one of my favorite Trixie stories. Getting Back on Your Hooves had one of my favorite villains. Thus, Godzilla Wolf would actually have to try to write a story I don't like. So, good, awesome, move on.